Okay, I'm finally sitting down.
Okay, I'm about to go live.
Yeah, it's now live on YouTube. Obviously, it's gonna take a few seconds, but it's connecting. Maybe give you a few seconds for.
Take a few seconds as well. Oh, here is.
Yeah, I think YouTube is ready.
Okay, YouTube is ready, and I'm gonna press IG. Let me just share the link for YouTube for you, Keza. Okay, I'm gonna.
Does it matter if it's vertical or horizontal for us or no?
No, I'm sharing the whole screen, so it's okay. Okay, I'm gonna go live on IG right now as well. So let me jump.
Wait 1 second. I can't. There's something wrong.
You want us to join the call from our accounts on IG?
Sorry, Melissa.
I think not necessary, right?
No,
I didn't hear you.
okay, so
Or I
Just
just started
checking.
hearing if you
Yeah,
spoke.
we were just checking if
Okay,
it's there.
doesn't matter.
all
Yeah,
right, we are live, so we can
we can
start.
start. Yeah.
So, welcome everyone. A warm welcome to today's virtual walkthrough. We are streaming live both on YouTube and Instagram. This event will go on for about an hour. My name is Matidi Samotane, and I'm moderating this event, which I'm really excited about. I'm inviting you, depending on where you are in the world, Milele Museum, and we are inherently technology and story. You behind the exhibit on the virtual museum and hear processes us with the journey. So exciting, the brains, creatives, we
No, it's the connection.
have the system anytime advocate is what it bridges personal and so director of Milele Museum alongside Melissa. Melissa Kurkut is an research history, placement, and community memory. And then also artist and research, and he's known for transforming historical kinematics into physical experiences. He leads urban schools, award-winning game student, and is on the Kinda, who is a
Guys, as you can see, the internet is lagging, and that's definitely a problem. But yeah, we had to mute Teresa so that we can avoid these whole scenarios. But anyways, she was just introducing the whole team as the narrator of today. Um, but I guess we can just try to do it ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, so obviously she was trying to introduce the Milele, but maybe Marisa, you can go ahead and say a little bit about the project.
Yes, so thank you so much, everyone who is joining from Instagram today and YouTube. Hoping you're gonna have a very informative but also a fun evening. And yeah, as kind of already mentioned, we apologize a little bit about the technical issues. As soon as Masliso can join, then she can take over as the moderator. But for now, we can just briefly introduce today's events. So today we are going to take you through our virtual museum, which has been a project that we've been working on since 2021. With lots of changes that's been happening, lots of updates, and we are really happy to share with you what we've been working on. And this is also a great way to get to know our team, and also, of course, to ask questions and give feedback as we are continuously building our experience. So I think I can briefly introduce myself, and then we can go ahead. So my name is Melissa Kirkwood. I am the founding executive director of Milele Museum, and I'm also a researcher and curator. And I am currently doing my master's studies in arts leadership at the University of Houston. And yeah, I think I've joined Milele Museum from the beginning on, and it's been an amazing journey. So I'm here together with Kanda.
Yes, I am Kanda. I'm a multidisciplinary artist and I'm a creative director of Milele and other organization that I was honored to be part of. Yeah, like she just mentioned, this project has started in 2021, or even before that as just an idea. But as so far right now, we have been able to accomplish different activities, different accomplishments. So I'm very honored to be part of this group, these amazing creative minds. And so far, Milele has grown through collaborations and partnership. Um, and this is definitely our politics, our philosophy is to make sure that the whole continent is represented in the way our cultural displays are respected, and to empower our community to own our narrative in the way we telling our stories. So yeah, that's the brief of what I can say right now. As for later, I'm looking forward to hear a lot from the part of the other people from the group, but also our audience. I'm looking forward to see suggestions, ideas, questions. Hopefully, not too hard of questions. You guys gotta make it easy for us. But yeah, most importantly, I'm looking for more fun moments. So yeah, let's get it.
Awesome. I would give a word to our speakers to briefly introduce themselves. So I'm gonna give the mic to Chidi. Would you like to go?
Hey, what's up, guys? Yeah, my name's Chidi Wubani. I'm a Nigerian British designer, artist, and tech infused creator who is the founder of a project called Luti. Luti is actually one of the founding and one of the first collaborators to join the Milele Museum. I remember when Melissa and Kanda first got in touch with me, and our stories like aligned so much, especially with Luti being part of this whole digital repatriation. What a lot of people may not know about the project is that we actually went on a digital heist. So some of the artifacts that you're seeing, they were actually physically taken back through this digital heist, where we went to the British Museum physically into the space and actually took back those artifacts. Yeah, my contributions and like my artistic endeavors go from everything from sculpture to AR, and I think this is just the beginning of like a beautiful story that we're starting with Milele Museum.
Thank you so much for sharing that, Chidi. Now I'm gonna pass on the mic to Hadia.
Hi, everyone. I'm Hadia Tom. I am from Sudan and Sweden. And I'm a proud part of Milele Museum's continuation, I guess. And I came across Milele Museum when I got in contact with Kanda, because we have so much in common in the conversations that we have. And I call myself a creative strategist just to like put a name on it. But more than anything, I think the fact that I come from both worlds, like the global majority and the, Sweden, which is known for innovation. After the war in Sudan, I kind of found a responsibility within me to kind of connect those dots to where this innovation should go to, and to connect more with people that are like-minded when it comes to how we believe we should take control of our narrative and use all of the fusion of technology and whatever means we have. So I fell in love with the vision straight away and jumped in. And being the strategist, I'm like a hella researcher. So I had to like stop the project and be like, okay, I'm going to create the Kingdom of Kush, but we have to involve everybody and do it on an evidence-based method, because it's a huge part in our, in general, in our history that's been looted, and our history has been written for us. And the Meroitic Kingdom, particularly, is one of those where the language disappeared because of lack of coding and also underfunded research. So, as a researcher, that's the way I kind of went into the approach to work with bringing the Meroitic period to life, which is the last part, which is very symbolic to what's happening in Sudan, and to raise awareness for our situation as Sudanese refugees currently. And I found home in Zanzibar right now, where I'm in another part of Africa, welcomed. And it just makes it also relevant that, gaming, history, our origins, our belonging, like us controlling our narrative is very important, and we have to push for it, and we have to work collectively. So that's what Milele is like all about. And I love just working with this team, and I'm so excited to do this. And I'm testing the internet right now randomly in Zanzibar because we've had a power cut. So I'm really excited of just really just opening up to everybody here and just enjoying the process and saying that everyone's included. So our depictions are open, and this is the metaverse, so we can play. So I invite everyone to give us questions, give us feedback, and also like to, if you want to contribute, we have a lot of potential to add to our world. So open dialogue here. I'm excited. Let's go, Melissa.
Thank you, Hadia. And I just want to say a happy birthday to you. It was your birthday yesterday, so let's all
Happy birthday, Hadia.
congratulate her also.
Yes.
Our audiences, yes. Happy
Yes.
birthday, happiest birthday.
Happy
Thank you so much for sharing.
birthday.
Thank you so much for sharing that with us, and I'm looking very much forward when you're gonna take us through what you have created in the exhibit. I'm gonna give the mic now to Ian from Kenya.
Hi everyone, my name is Ian Okinda. I'm also here for Brian Njenga, who's my partner. I represent Urban Gurus. We were the first, I think if not the second, collaborators in this project. Very much excited, and we are really like happy for you guys to get to see what we have created. It's been an awesome journey, and we've been doing this for the longest time. I'm not a creative. I don't consider myself a creative. I'm more of a tech guy, but I do enjoy working with creative guys. So there's a bunch of creative people around me, and I enjoy that. So they carry my creativity with them.
Nice.
So it's so nice to meet you, and let's enjoy this trip.
Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, I just want to say that Urban Guru was the first collaborators. Yeah, just to give a little quick of a story on how we actually go to meet up. Yeah, remember it was 2021, somewhere in
Yeah.
November, and then yeah, we just decided to travel to Kenya, and mostly we just wanted to get connected, but also just have amazing time. Like, just because, Kenya is amazing. They have all those wildlife and all amazing experiences. Anyways, yeah, we had to we met up some amazing people, and yeah, we had the name Brian, who's been doing exactly similar stuff that we were doing, and we were very amazed, and so that's how we got in the connection, yeah, with the urban guru, and then with Chidi, yeah, I someone literally showed sent me a link. I think it was maybe Lauters. It was just
Yeah.
a big
ABC.
article, yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, they were like, you should check this guy out. They're doing amazing stuff. When I saw it, I was really stunned. I was like, yeah, we gotta reach out to them. Yeah. So and then Hadia, we got connected because she wanted to do a documentary that was really really amazing. And yeah, so that's how we got connected with everyone who has been really helpful and supportive. So yeah, then Milele grow to that point, but then let's get to to actually experience what we have been working on, the virtual experience, but obviously we will talk about the physical experiences as well.
Yes. Awesome. So, I'm just gonna see if Matsurizo is able to reconnect. Let's hear from her. Matsurizo, can you share a little bit about yourself?
Now?
It's still lagging.
Oh,
It's not a big of a problem though.
Yeah. That's okay. We can maybe try to reconnect later. Um, Maybe let's before we get into the game, let's start with a very short icebreaker. Just to also get to know the team a little bit more. So we would like to know who is your favorite? What was it? Hero, right? Hero or idol?
Yeah, someone that you always been inspired with, through their actions or their legendary history. So someone that you relate to, there's always those people that you feel like, yeah, every time I hear the story, I just feel like really, I go in my feelings, So to start with me, since I brought the ice breaking, I have to say that I was really inspired and very related to Malcolm X, just because he's kind of guy who can like build those bridges for the whole Pan-Africanism without excluding any community. So he had bigger heart and bigger brain, I would say, and he was so brave enough to put himself in such a risk, because that is like going the opposite direction of the system, as we are all aware of, especially for the black community or the African community. If I'm coming from that perspective, yeah, it's not easy to actually connect all these patterns, because we are a community that has been left out from for like what they are called the contribution of civilization, although we have been contributing for a long time, probably before prehistory, probably from the cavemen, I guess. But yeah, he was that guy who was like, motivated enough and to dedicate his life to just only make sure that this story can be heard, can be seen, can be recognized. And yeah, obviously he died for it.
All right. For me, I can go next. For me, I would say a hero or idol would definitely be Bob Marley. I really admire artists who put, the struggle into their artistry, and I think Bob Marley has done that. I think, yeah, he really set an example on what it means to be an artist and really share your pain, your struggle through music, to the power of music, and that he has achieved so much. And yeah, really look up to him. What about you, Ian? I see you thinking and thinking.
I mean, you just said Bob Marley.
Oops, I think he's freezing.
And I was like, okay, here we go. I have to look for another hero. I got lost for a moment. You mentioned Bob Marley, and I was like, I have to choose another hero. And yeah, but Bob
You
Marley is like, yeah, I have him right at the back.
I see.
yeah.
Yeah. So I think I'd go with Chuck Norris. If you guys have ever seen like those action movies back in the
I know memes
like
from him even.
yeah. I mean, he was like my favorite movie star at that time. So we used to watch all his movies, the Delta Force. I mean, he also had a movie with like Bruce Lee,
Yeah.
and I was like, I was very inspired by that guy when I was a kid. So him and Bob Marley, obviously, at the top.
Yeah,
Thank
they say
you.
Chuck Norris doesn't kill with the bullet, bullet kills, with him. So he's the bullet, literally. There's a lot of
Yeah.
memes about him. Yeah. Anyways, thank you for sharing.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Cool.
What about you, Hadia?
Yeah, let me go. So in case someone comes to the gym here and cuts me off. So that's actually like that question changed. I've been asked it a few times, and I've realized it keeps on changing. So what I feel today, I'd say, my grandfather, the one that went to Nigeria, and when he was 15 from Sudan, at a time when it was not, easy, just life and just build up something and learn all about adaptation and cultural fluency and taking that sort of level of adventure to across Africa, which is inspiring me currently. And also like that sort of level of innovation of changing and shape shifting when you go to new places. So I'm kind of like into that right now, like as being my role model and superhero for what the world that we might need in this future. So I'd say he's my superhero for a bit right now.
That's so beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that, Hadia. Thank you. Okay, then we have Chidi. What about you?
So for me, it would definitely have to be Chinua Achebe. If anybody has like heard of him before or heard of his works, he's a literary genius, and I think he really set the precedent for everything that we're working on today. Literally, everything that we're working on today kind of strings and comes from like his notable work. That one of those being the book. If you haven't read this book, like you have to go download this book, get the PDF, you have to read it, get the audio, get the audio, but you have to read Things Fall Apart. You have to read this book, and the reason why I say you have to read it is it really talks about like perspective and perspective that we're all talking about, which is not from that Western or the overarching like global perspective, but from an African perspective. And he was telling stories directly from those narratives and always presented and challenged the almost like dehumanizing portrayals that you would see of those times anyway of the book. I mean, it still happens today, but his his writing was just so powerful, and I think it really inspired everything that we're doing today.
Perfect. Yeah.
Great.
I mean, I haven't read the book. I'm so a lazy guy to read. But yeah, thank you so much for recommending
Get
that.
the
Now
audio
that's a
book.
kick in the butt. I would definitely have to find it. And yeah,
Yeah.
really.
Yeah, for real.
Okay, I think now we can start off with the walkthrough. I see this character has been waiting for us to to play. So yeah, I don't know if you want to share a little bit of what we are seeing right now. We are seeing a cave. I don't know if you want to.
Yeah, I would have liked to, to go back actually just to show the people like you can use any device. So,
Oh,
normally when you open in the game, obviously asks you to choose which device you want to use. So there's an option of using a desktop or a mobile cell phone, a smartphone though. Yeah, then you find yourself in here in the cave, where you gotta select which character you want to use. So we have a male character here, but Ian will show us that you have an option to, to change to a female character as well. Then as soon as you choose which one you want to use, yeah, you are in this just random cave, and we just selected the cave just because, like I mentioned, we just know that our history has been cemented or been caved by Western narrative. I would say much because of colonialism, obviously impact as well as imperialism. So yeah, this is just a paradox or a metaphor of saying, yeah, we know we have been caved like this, but yeah, we want to get out and speak out, tell our story. So yeah, I will let Ian take over and tell us everything that is inside there, the signposts and everything. But yeah.
Yeah, so this is like our first scene in the experience. We also try to gamify everything since like my background is like making video games. So just for context, I'm playing it with my controller. So it's important that you guys know that. So while moving around, we have some controls here. We don't want to do a lot of UI stuff. So we just want to put everything to be a bit natural. The experience should feel a lot more real. And just after starting our game, we meet this guy who's Tupu. He's going to introduce himself.
Okay. I am Tupu, guardian of Milele. Tell me, what brings you here?
Yeah, so that's a question for you to answer yourself. And there is like cool music. Can you guys get the audio?
Yes.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yes.
So that's like your welcoming tone for the environment. And we just take a moment here to appreciate the mighty work of our artists and our creatives. So we've done like a few, they've done like a really good job with the environment. So I'll just circle around the camera so that we just appreciate everything that this awesome team has been doing. Yeah. Super nice. So we have various kingdoms in our small map. So we've combined a lot of African villages, mostly inspired by the ancient African world. And on the left, we have the Sudan. You can see there is the flag right there. There is two different flags, the new one and the previous one that they had. So we also have a character right here who's trying to speak to us. So let's just go straight and see what she's saying.
Welcome, traveler. I am Amanikara, a priestess and descendant of Queen Amenishakef's village. You've arrived within Kush, a land shaped by a strong devout people and the wisdom of our queen. As you explore these sacred pyramids and temples, you witness the legacy of our ancestors, their resilience, their artistry, and their connection to the Nile. Take your time and let the divinity of Kush guide you through your journey.
Yeah, so most of the artwork here and the references were made with the help of Hadia, who's like in charge of this entire kingdom. So if you don't mind, Hadia, you can give us like a bit of context of what you're thinking while coming up with these.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ian. Yeah, so I think we've had a lot of fun creating this, and I think I've given you a lot of headaches, but it's been an experience because, I mean, as a researcher and as a as a Sudanese that has a very, very big responsibility right now, to look for the truth and look for the actual parts that we can push. I'm coming from an academic family. It went back like taking that end of the evidence-based research to add to our storytelling and our character building for it to be actually on point. So it took a bit longer, right? Like it took much longer than we thought.
Yeah.
And I think I read about 150 pages, papers, research papers that were all nearly done by non-Sudanese people. And particularly the challenge of research on Kush versus and Nubia versus Egyptology and representation in institutions has been a huge part, not just in the Kingdom of Kush, but in African research when it comes to history. So that's been the challenging part, but it's been so much fun to work around how we can depict that. How can we use creativity and technology to do an evidence-based character building? And that's what we've done with the character of that belongs to that pyramid, which is dated in a way to be in a certain, that belongs to a certain queen that's called the Manishaketo. Pyramid number 39, I think it was. I don't remember now. And so we created this character then as an offspring of her, so that we don't change history, but every single part of her building was researched. Her clothes, her nose, that's all based on all of these research that we've done. So it was really great working with Ian and Brian on that. And so that's kind of where we are right now with the character, and also the bringing back, which is what we do at Milele, like bringing back the artifact in place. We are working on actually getting a 3D of a part of her known jewelry collection that was looted by Giuseppe Ferrelli, I think it was, the name was Melissa, I forgot.
Yeah.
But so that's one of the things that's the challenges behind the scene that we're working on, like to make it as real as possible, but at the same time bring the flavor of interactivity. So our next part that's going to be interesting is to add more to the space. So we're collaborating with other museums that actually have our artifacts to bring it back into the space to fill it up, to be authentic. So we don't want to add something that's not authentically belongs to that Meroitic period or like something in inspiration of it. So that's the collaboration structure that I've kind of built up, and that I've had so much challenges to kind of figure out in this building of the space. So let me know your feedback. And this is a continuation of a conversation. We've met with a lot of creatives in Rwanda, and we're opening this dialogue for everybody to kind of want to contribute in however way they want. Because if we can't have peace in this earth, we'll create our own version on the metaverse of what it should be. So that's how I feel about this experience.
Yeah.
Let me know what you
think,
and then what you think about the process. Like, what was your take, and what did you feel? I think that would be more interesting from a tech side and from a design side, for people to hear, because it's not easy building characters.
Yeah, I think you mentioned it. Yeah, we took a lot more time in this specific area. We had a lot of back and forth. Like, we had to redo the pyramids, we had to redo the textures of the character, we had to do a lot of things, I think thrice or so. But again, eventually it was the most interesting, I think, level that we've ever made, since like we haven't done we've done a lot of African levels. We haven't thought of being like a level in Sudan, and it was also interesting to find out that we had a lot of pyramids in this area than in Egypt. So that was like a really interesting thing to learn during the entire process.
I'd like to add that level of curiosity that we were playing with took us to what now is happening within Sudan, like, you know, with the museum being looted, to get in contact with archaeologists that are working with UNESCO, and they're working with the National Museums of Sudan, and with the Interpol, to be part of that digital conversation of how we can contribute as protectors of the digitalization in crises. And me and Chidi have talked a lot about this, of where there's opportunities to work with history in the current events as well, by using technology and helping organizations that are already set up and working on it to kind of come up with more creative solutions of how they can protect and archive in crisis or in conflict or in war in Sudan right now. So I think this is the part of this experience with the current events going on in Sudan, and the vast history that the Kingdom of Kush has, and representation that opens up the floor to possibility right now, which I'm like so excited about. And that's where me and Chidi have actually, like, there's a lot of connection there, because some of his work that he's done is to bring back the Rosetta Stone, which is very related to our area, and close to the Kingdom of Kush. So there's always all of these interconnections when it comes to artifacts, and how we can bring them, digitalize them in this experience. So I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot from Ian and Brian, and particularly like just Chidi's experience, Melissa and Canda's way of kind of bringing amazing people and really following up with everyone, and just creating this space where we can engage, and everyone just in this team, like, that's African and representing in a different way, and they come from different backgrounds. So I think this has been really great, and I'm it's going so quick, it's insane. Like, we're skyrocketing, and I'm really excited.
Yeah, absolutely.
Beautiful.
Let's walk.
Cool.
Yeah.
So we go straight to Kenya, and we have like a little intro here, and you just notice that we just straight from the desert to a semi-green area, which was cool. Awesome level designed by Brian right there. So I have a little intro here about what ancient Kenya used to look like. And Brian, are you close to describe what inspired you in coming up with this awesome village, or are you muted?
Hello, can you hear me?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you, Ian, for taking us through, for the amazing team for setting this up. Coming up with the Kikuyu village was a bit tricky, because first thing, we were trying to be true to our culture, and at the same time we were trying to make something new. So in the spirit of trying to find a gray area where we can actually make something impactful, we came up with a few things that we could put together. So we chose the hats just to represent the traditional aesthetic that the Kikuyu have. Secondly would be the futuristic looking statues, with a touch of culture. These were built up to help represent the safeguarding of our lost history. Like, we don't want this to happen again. So whatever it is we have, that we continue to have about our history and continue to learn about our culture, he was the symbol of trying to protect it. And just like it's presented, you have the Luo headdress in front of him, and you have the Kikuyu shield just next to the other guardian.
Also, I've just noticed that we have somebody who's here and is waiting for us. So let's check him out. Yeah, I think he just said that the stream is awesome, and also that the team is a really talented team, and he gave us a quest. I think if you've seen the captions on the little dialogue that he had said that his son is very sick, and we need to basically get him some medicine. So we did this on purpose. We had like a translation from Kikuyu to English just to make sure that people get to experience the level like of authenticity that we have in our project, making sure that the characters also like speak in their native language, especially for the Kikuyu one, was so great. So we need to go straight and look for the medicine. I think his son is almost dying. And on our way to find the medicine, I think we just saw, is that a lion? Yeah, that's a lion. Let's say hi to the lion first.
Say hi to Mufasa.
Yeah, he's angry. He may eat us. So let's leave that place and go straight to find like our medicine. So I think this is like an awesome place to find medicine. So I might just go in and pick up one and take it back to our Kikuyu character.
Ũcio ũgwĩtwo mũtomo. Mũmera ũyũ nĩ ũnyihanyihagia ũgwati wa kansa, ũgatũũria ũgima mwega wa maitho, na ũgatũma mwĩrĩ ũkorwo na hinya wa kũrũa na mĩrimũ. Ũka rũciũ kũhe ũhoro makĩria.
Yeah, so just given him, he needs to give it back to his child.
Ũcio ũgwĩtwo mũtomo.
And he's thanking us.
Mũmera ũyũ nĩ ũnyihanyihagia ũgwati wa kansa, ũgatũũria ũgima mwega wa maitho, na ũgatũma mwĩrĩ ũkorwo na hinya wa kũrũa na mĩrimũ. Ũka rũciũ kũhe ũhoro makĩria.
Yeah, cool. So we'll go ahead and move to the next part of our experience. And we go straight to Rwanda. I mean, we also have like good level design here. The reveal is so, I like how the village is not far from you, but at the same time, like kind of like hidden from you. You don't know what you're going to see, or maybe what you're going to meet on your way there. So once we are here, we have like a nice reveal of the village. Yeah, and this is where I welcome Kanda or Melissa, since they are the one like behind the whole idea of putting like all the Rwandan artifacts. So you can just take us through like straight from the gate.
Starting from the gates, you will see some statues of Inyambo, which is like the royal cows. We take a huge pride in those cows. They're like our represented animals, I would say. We love cows in general, but then when it comes to Inyambo, it's a whole different type of consideration. So we take it really high. And you will see some like the flags as well, that obviously represent the modern country of Rwanda. But then obviously this display is just like a small village with huts. There's like one little chicken there that is just moving around as well. And like you mentioned, we put some display of some of the artifacts that are right now displayed in some of European museums, particularly in German museums. And we actually started with these artifacts because our main focus was about repatriation and restitution back then, but then obviously Milele has grown to become a bigger conservation that is not just concentrated on restitution, but mostly also like the entire conservation of the ecosystem. This is one of the artifacts right in the front of the hut, and these huts were designed based on the pictures of the largest king palace that is located in the southern province of Rwanda. So we kind of like use the images of this particular king palace to build up these beautiful huts. And as you can see, yeah, this is a dense rattle, and it's already kind of like rooted. Yeah, it's really been damaged, but then yeah, this is a part of the story to show what we've been going through as a community. Yeah, you can keep on going, maybe just to show that we have the same little gaming experience, just like in Kenya as well. And as you can see, there's a little sculpture that is hanging in there. It's called Murera. The people who took it in the German museum, the explorers, they say it was a kid's toy. Yeah, that's the description it has. But then it was very interesting because it comes from a Barrera community, which is located in Burera, which we had really pressure to go back there and to use this story to build up a very new story that is now empowered by the community themselves to speak from their own perspective. But yeah, that's I can say more, but right now my brain is only thinking of this. So maybe we can go close to that guy, just so to show that we have the same experience in this little village.
Yeah, we also had to put chicken in there.
Yeah, there's like two
Just
chickens.
yeah.
I had like to see more animals. I love animals. But yeah, I guess we are that selfish in this village because we are the only one who has those cattle. Or probably are rich.
So
Yeah.
Because of the Gasabo, kurwanya bw'imisozi igihumbi haba hariho ubwoko bw'Imana kitwa handi kemera no hafi yo ariko igataha inka ariko nk'uko ubireba ntitufate niyo mpamvu turi n'awanzi turarwaye tutarengeje ndakurikize cyane cyane umuti witwa niko w'umurinzi baba babarinzi b'abanyarwanda urakoze.
yeah. So do you mind like doing a translation of what he just said?
Basically, basically, like Rwandans used to believe that when like the mighty God goes travel everywhere, but then the home is only in Rwanda, so it would just go travel anywhere it wants, but can come back at home, which is Rwanda. So basically, that's the kind of text that or the narrative that I used in creating this story. So basically, the character is saying, "Thank you for coming in the home of God," but as you can see, the God hasn't been here for a minute. That's why we are sick. We are dying. Can you please go find me Omuko, which is Omuko is a tree that is like in the ritual way is taken as a very mystic tree, and it was used for different purpose. It's a multi-purpose medicine. So it was used for healing like different disease, but as well as considered as a very mystic, like I mentioned, tree that was like kings will put it like on the gate of the palace as a protection. So it's called a protector tree. So yeah, this guy's gonna pick up one of those flowers. And obviously, he's gonna take it back to heal that person before they dies. Um,
Wakoze n'ibyaha y'umwatukanyi ibi ni uko wahinze agasekuru n'agasekuruza imyaka n'imyanya wakoze urakaramba.
he David, and the guy heard his son, and there he's walking all alive. And yeah, he just thanked us. We just did the miracle. We healed someone like just like Jesus, you know. I'm joking, Christians. I'm sorry.
Absolutely. Yeah. So it was a very interesting tale. I think we at some point saw like an elephant coming close to us. I mean, he was definitely interested in hearing your voice. So
Yeah. That's my voice interrupted with AI.
cool. So it's such a beautiful
Give
landscape.
me a second.
I think
Marissa's gonna be taking over.
Yeah, we can
Sure.
move on to the next village.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm just like appreciating the work that you guys have done. What's such an inspiration to come up with the concept of this village. I mean, it was also a challenge to get the grass
Yeah.
into the map, but it's a lot of triangles, and it did us like a lot of work.
Awesome.
Cool. So we go straight to our last region, and you can see the village also there. We have a lot. It speaks a lot for itself. I mean, it's a fortified kingdom. We can see you can't access it like from anywhere. So there is a signboard like here, really like close to the gate, and it's the kingdom of Benin. So this is where we introduce Chidi to just walk us through like what inspired you like coming up with this amazing concept, and basically what were your references.
Thank you. Yeah, so as you can see, like entering into the Benin Kingdom, not to be confused with Benin, the country, but actually it's a kingdom from what is now currently Edo State in southern Nigeria, and it was actually one of the biggest kingdoms of its time. And if you just stop there and see the wall or the Benin moat, this was, for its time, was actually bigger than the Great Wall of China. It was over 10,000 miles big, and there's still remnants and parts of it that stand today. But the kingdom in its prime was around the 15th century, but dates all the way back to the 10th century, even way back to 800 AD. So we're dealing with like a kingdom from a West African point of view that is extremely famous, and throughout history the Nim bronzes have been have really been looked at as these objects that, being in the British Museum at the moment, have just been ahead of a lot of discussion. So if you enter into the kingdom, we're gonna like talk more about those. We really tried, like with a lot of references, it's really hard to get the right pictures and the right references, to be able to like recreate. Okay,
Yeah.
we'll let our auntie speak for us now.
Their capital city wey carry the same name still dey for Naija of today. Benin Kingdom dey for strategic location wey get plenty natural resources. Na so e come be major center for trade, wey be say goods like ivory, brass, cloth and slaves dey exchange hands berekete for West Africa. Benin Kingdom get political and social structure wey dey organized well. Na the Oba dey gidigba on top of the society. Dem dey believe say Oba na divine ruler, and im get plenty nobles, chiefs, plus other high officials wey dey support am to govern the kingdom. The commoners, people wey dem dey rule, still organize themselves into many groups, and then they work as farmers, artisans, and even traders. The art and architecture for Benin Kingdom na one of their best achievements. The kingdom dey popular for their metal work and ivory carving skills. So their artisans dey create many different objects like statues, masks, plaques, and even ceremonial costume dem. Plenty of these objects they decorated with special intricate design and motifs where they show Benin Kingdom culture and their traditions. The Benin bronze is now the most famous example of Benin art, where the collection of brass and bronze sculptures where artisans create for 16th and 17th centuries. These sculptures then show different subjects like animals, human beings, and even mythical creatures, and they're famous for their intricate detail plus craftsmanship. Even with all these cultural and economic achievements, Benin Kingdom still fall under British colonialism for late 19th century. And really our gas when British come thief many of the Benin bronzes when they come spoil the kingdom for 1897. For that 1897, the British Expedition Force.
Okay. I think are we still here? Yeah? Yeah, we're still there. Okay, so I think maybe we're back. Okay.
So Benin Kingdom come join British Empire as part of Nigeria, and plenty of their cultural treasures them spoil them, or people just begin carry them, they go. Now, these bronzes and other artifacts them dey for museums and private collection for people house sef for different parts of the world. Till today, people still dey try to preserve plus promote Benin Kingdom, their cultural heritage. Dem dey ask make people and museum for overseas begin dey return all the looted artifacts, bring them back to Nigeria. Also, people dey wey dey try restore the historic sites and monuments wey still dey for ground for the great Benin Kingdom.
Yeah, I think
so. A round of applause for Auntie. A round of applause for Auntie. that was that explained the Benin Kingdom in pidgin English, and I think it was very important that we reflected the lingua franca of today, and also linking that to the history. And pidgin English is Creole, like a mixture of English, local languages, and there's even some Portuguese in there as well. But I wanted to really explain this to be understood by the people of Nigeria today. As you go through the kingdom, you'll also see, it was explained, the Benin bronzes. So if you turn to the right, you'll be able to see these Benin bronzes, which throughout history, were used for not just as artworks, but they were used as records of history. So the Obas, which were the kings of the time, and queens, were basically immortalized in these beautiful bronze sculptures. And these sculptures that you're seeing now were the sculptures that were digitally repatriated from the British Museum in the heist that my collective Luti went on. So we entered into the British Museum and made scans, in a digital heist, and we've now taken them into this new kingdom where they're being displayed in the correct way, and I think even in a better way than the way that they're almost like caged in these like glass boxes in the museum.
Yeah. Just to put context to what you just said, these are actually like real scans.
Yeah, these are 3D scans. So yeah, and this is a technology that I urge everybody who's listening to use, and anybody can actually use it. It's even from your mobile phone, you can make these kind of scans and rebuild. And even just looking at everybody here, like the design process that we went through and the creation process that we went through, a lot of the tools that we use to like create this are actually available to everybody. So it's like really inspiring to see that, it's something that, it doesn't take a team or from like a huge a huge gaming company to create something like this.
Absolutely.